Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the team news reaction show ahead of the Merseyside derby. Liverpool making the short trip across Stanley Park to go and play Everton Football Club. Steve Hoare here, delighted. I'm joined by Steve Plunk, our deadline day signing here at Redmen TV, doing his first watch along in terms of the studio debut. How you feeling, mate? You good?
Yeah, good. Look forward to it. Picked a great game to start that with, didn't we, mate? Lots of intensity, lots of emotion. Join us and get involved in the chat. Let's go. Yeah,
it's going to be absolutely brilliant. The official team news will be out in about 14 or so minutes time. Yeah, we're expecting Liverpool's teams. We think the latest is that Diogo Jota is part of the Liverpool squad. He travelled. We got off the bus from around the corner. We don't think Arthur is going to be involved in international clearance and all that kind of stuff, although there are some reports that he might be. So Liverpool might have got that all boxed off, all the forms that they needed all over the last couple of days. Unfortunately, Joe, I'm going to bring the laptop up, if you don't mind, mate. I'm going to bring a horrendous video, really, that some of our guys are down at the ground. And unfortunately, a minority of idiots, Evertonian, I'm guessing, have defaced some of the murals. So we had the Trent Alexander-Arnold mural, the Jordan Henderson one that we commissioned, I know the Mo Salah one's been done as well. Yeah, so that's an unsavoury start to derby days. It feels with this kind of stuff is that it is a minority because, listen, there's a hatred, yeah. But then there's lines. Like, we work in the same office as the Toffee TV lads next door, and there's banter, and they hate us and we hate them, but there's lines, and it just feels like this another line's been crossed here. And it's, again, murals, that one's in honour of Alder A, one's in honour of the Food Banks charity, and it's sickening, really.
Yeah, mate, you're right. The lads who shared the studio with us, the office with us, their sound, and there is a bit of banter, but there's unnecessary. And unfortunately, there's racism involved in the Mo Salah one, mate. We never like to see that. And it is the minority, because I know loads of Everton fans who will tell you very, very adamantly that they can't stand the sight of us, but they wouldn't go and do stuff like that. So, mindless yobs, mate, feral yobs who go and do things like that. It's disgusting, isn't it?
And it's not, I know for a fact, like, it's happened at Goodison sometimes. I've been Liverpool fans. I remember throwing paint on one of the Dixie Dean statues, stuff like. I can't get my head around it on either way, really. It just feels like you say, very, very unnecessary. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Unsavoury start to the day on Derby Day, which, again, defacing murals, acts of racism. It's horrendous, really. So yeah, I thought we had to bring it up. You could not talk about it. Hopefully, like I say, it can all get cleaned up, all get sorted. Obviously, one of those murals is ours, so we'll be making some calls as well to try and get that sorted. Obviously, the Jordan Henderson one, which has been defaced with some horrendous stuff, really. But fingers crossed, like I say, whoever's found, fucking idiots. Don't be idiots. You can support Liverpool and you can hate Everton, and you can support Everton and you can hate Liverpool. But yeah, lines unfortunately sometimes get crossed. That's what's happened today, right? In terms of team news, then, Steve, we don't know yet. Obviously, we're gonna find out, like I say, in the next 10 minutes or so. But I suppose the big questions really are: who replaces Henderson? Mm-hmm. And does Darwin Núñez come back in? I suppose they're the big ones. Obviously, there's a Matip Gomez decision, but that's more a preference than anything. I suppose the telling one is the Jordan Henderson injury. Someone's got to go in midfield. Are you expecting James Milner?
Yeah, I am. Purely because we need a leader in there. If you sit and watch Liverpool games, there's one or two that speak, and there's 8 or 9 that don't really. And you need Milner in there. You saw the way Milner dug out Van Dijk for standing off the shot instead of closing it down. You need that player. You need that player in an Everton game. This is going to be intense. It will be a million miles an hour in the first 10-15 minutes because they're going to go out there. Frank Lampard's first derby in Goodison Park in front of the Everton fans. And he's going to say to the team, don't let me down. They will be all over everything, and we'll need that calming influence, that experienced head in the middle of the park.
Yeah, you're right. I'm with you. From what we're being led to believe, by the way, Arthur is apparently part of the squad, so the international clearance was received. So it looks like he could at least be on the bench if Jürgen decides to do that. So yeah, we'll confirm that. Like I said, in about 10 minutes, but yeah, it looks like Liverpool's latest deadline day signing, Arthur from Juventus on loan, will be part of the squad. That's what we're hearing. We'll confirm that for you very, very shortly. In terms of these, it's weird. I was speaking to Toffee lads, and Everton seem buoyant.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of deadline day signings themselves done, so Ghana comes in. Ghana Gay comes in as well. Yeah. Obviously, they've recently signed Neil Maupay. They managed to keep hold of Anthony Gordon when it looked like he was at one point going to sign for Chelsea. It feels like they are. It's weird because for a team who haven't won a game, Villa, their fans are heads falling off. Wolves fans are heads falling off. Everton fans, again, they seem in quite good spirits. Like, they seem to back this manager and back this group of players. So you're right, is that when we went to Goodison last year, I knew we were going to win, and I knew we were going to score, and I knew it was going to turn into a horrible atmosphere for them. it feels like today, you reference Al Goodison, they are going to be up for it. They are backing this manager and this bunch of players.
Yeah, and do you know what, you should? So you can't criticise that, can you?
No,
you know, we get behind our team, come what may, and they're doing it too. It is interesting you say all of that, because if you look at their form from last season and their form from this season, they're almost identical, and they are where they are in the league because of their performances, you know. But there's an anticipation that things will improve.
Remember this time last year, Rafa had them top, didn't he? He won the first couple. Lampard's points per game record isn't brilliant for them, but they seem to like him.
Yeah, I think he says the right thing. He's very good at that. He's very good at the PR bit, isn't he? And he's passionate. And we saw that when he was manager at Chelsea, and we had to do with him when Trent scored the free kick. They buy into who he is and what he is, and he certainly fits in quite well with the club. And he himself has come out and said, and thought it was really clever. Can't wait to get this game going in front for my first one at Goodison, which is a rallying call all day long, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. And he is good at that. Actually, he does talk the talk, unfortunately. Sorry for him, which is fortunate. He has to start walking the walk, and Liverpool are going to be hoping today that, fingers crossed, they don't do it, walk all over the Reds, because we could do with winning this one. Like I say, other than the derby, the thing that is riding on this obviously is like Liverpool have gone back-to-back wins in the Premier League now, which was much needed after 2 draws and a defeat in the first 3. You don't want momentum to stop. It's a tough game, Goodison away. It's never easy, really, even when they're shite and they are pretty crap, but taking the derby thing away from it, the 3 points are vital here, because Liverpool need to get to Chelsea, haven't beat Everton and beat Wolves, and putting a little run together. So again, and it's going to be that needs to continue today.
Of course it is. Does the win against Bournemouth, 8 minutes to get the win against Newcastle, building momentum. You know, we were dreaming for 8 minutes we'd get a late winner to carry on momentum. A point wouldn't have been enough for us against Newcastle. No. As it is, and this is a cliched thing to say, that win doesn't amount to much if we don't put in a performance today. And City are looking at us in the same way that we're looking at them. And we've had a little wobble, and they've got their little lead, and they'll be buzzing off that. So it's not just Liverpool that look at City. Liverpool as fans and as a club, they look at each other because they're the biggest rivals, and we've given them a little bit of a lead to start with. So these games are crucial. We have to go there and play well and get the win today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring you the Liverpool team news, like I say, in about 7 minutes' time. Just heading to the YouTube chat. 1 second, we've got a super chat from Gareth Baird. I've just seen that video to discuss the thing to do. It was, if you're right. Osman Arthur, he's got his clearance, so we need to smash these toffees today. 10-0 for me today. Come on, you Reds. 10-0's optimistic, but you are right. The Miura stuff's horrendous. It's really, really vile. And like I say, Arthur, it's interesting to see he turned up on deadline day. He's probably had one training session. Yeah. He's probably going to be on the bench. I'd be shocked if we see him. But again, with the Henderson injury, and if Milner starts, you might need someone who can just do a DM role or come on for minutes if you need him to. What he is, I was saying this the other day, is that he's obviously a stopgap. We know that, and it was a not a panic buy, but it was a reaction to another injury. Yeah. If you're going to do that, if you leave yourself in the situation where you're struggling, which Liverpool did, and I think Jürgen Holzand said we should have done something earlier, to get a 26-year-old Brazilian international, he's been at Barca, he's been at Juve, and yet it hasn't quite worked out at them. But you're not just you're not signing Ben Davies from Preston. You know what I mean? You're signing a lad who knows some of the players. He's played at a very high level. At worst case is, like, it shouldn't be atmospheres and pressures of playing for Liverpool. Probably won't get to him too much. Ability-wise, we'll see. Fitness-wise, we'll see. But if he is called upon, at least we can he's got that experience and that level of acumen behind them.
Yeah, I think that me and Paul were speaking about this today. He can share the load with Thiago because they're very similar players, and he's kind of plays from the left-hand side of the midfield. So whilst we sit and we talk about who plays on the left-hand side, do we let Curtis do it, who's still learning that role? Do we have Henderson there when we're not comfortable with Henderson being in the left centre mid role? He's a natural go-to. It's a very, very low-risk move for Liverpool. He might set the world on fire, and then we have a conversation with Juve about signing him, thinking further afield. Could you see a midfield with Melo and, let's say we get Bellingham in the same midfield? Absolutely you can, because they do different roles. So it's a player profiling for a loan move, which is unusual. But he's got a lot of the attributes that our midfielders need to have. Yeah,
and just to confirm, actually, Liverpool have confirmed that he's set to be named in the squad. So yeah, Arthur's he's had his international clearance and he's ready to go. He will be part of the matchday squad, which is exciting, if nothing else. Excuse me. Pardon me. Right then, yeah. So we are about 5 minutes to go. Go back to the chats again. We've got Joe, Angus with a few players back. We should have more confidence to go out and teach these toffees a lesson. Also, what does everyone think about Arthur Miller? Well, Steve's just gone through your second part for you, Joe. You're right, is that even with the injuries that we've got, Liverpool are better than Everton. They just are. They've got better players, they've got a better squad, they've got a better manager, they've got better everything. But it's Derby Day, and sometimes that can be a leveler, you know what I mean? Like, it isn't always, we were better than Fulham, couldn't beat them. We were better than Crystal Palace, couldn't beat them. Better than Man United, I say, couldn't beat them. So these lads, although they are more talented, they need to step up and perform. And like I say, hopefully, I thought they got rattled at Fulham, and I thought they got rattled at Old Trafford a little bit by the way, the fast start that they both made today. Everton are going to try and do the same. Yeah. We didn't react well to Fulham's fast start. We didn't react well to United's. Third time, they have to get that one right. You can't be, you don't, again, 1-0 down away from home, you just can't be doing it. Third time, they've got to have learned the lessons now.
Absolutely. I think both those games we kind of started slow and we tried to gauge the situation and then impress our game on them. In both of those games, we struggled when they got midfielders behind our midfield and exposed, you know, the lack of athleticism on those days in particular. I don't think it's unfair to say our midfield didn't really start those games particularly well, but 6 points in the bag from the last two games. Got to go to Goodison Park to win. You can't go there and see what Everton have got and then react to it. We've got to go and do what we do. If we go and do what we do well, as you said, we're better than Everton and we win the game.
Absolutely, excuse me. I don't know, obviously, we'll keep an eye on the team news, like I say. It'll be out in a couple of minutes' time. We're expecting Everton to have Neil Maupay in their side as well. So again, new signings galore for everybody. It's what I don't understand is, from a Liverpool point of view in terms of the midfield options, is that we know it took them so long, and we'll never understand why they did it. We now know that there was players available they could have went and got. Why do you think they waited so long? Do you think he was about to say, we're about to get Jones back, we're about to get Thiago back, we're pretty much through the end of it? It feels like Henderson's single injury is going to come out for a couple of weeks. Is it also a case that like Naby's injury, because he mentioned in his press conference yesterday, it looks like it's going to be a long while. Yeah. Do you think they've had more information on the Naby one added to the Hendo one? They thought we need to just go and act now.
Well, Henderson is alleged to be out for 5 weeks, which is
about 20 games.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got Naby, which I've read is a tear, which is as bad as it gets. You could be looking at 2 to 3 months for a tear, depending on how his rehabilitation goes. Yeah, they did leave it there. I don't think Klopp helped when he said to the press, I'm wrong and you guys were right, we need a midfielder, because straight away all of the accountants, all of the football clubs that we would have been looking at, right, just add 20 million to his fee. So suddenly Caicedo becomes a £70 million midfielder, and in a month of Sundays he's not a £70 million midfielder. But that's the transfer market at that point in time after that comment by Klopp. There is a reason why we don't talk about transfers, because we don't provoke responses from the clubs of the players that we're interested in, and it backfired big time on us. So we found ourselves in a position where we had to have a look at who we could get short term without damaging the transfer kitty for next summer.
Yeah, and like I say, what's interesting in it is that there is the option to buy him €37 million, which again, if he has a good season, and Liverpool are going to need to sign 2 midfielders next season, if you think you're going to have to spend 100 million on Jude Bellingham, 30 million on another player if he's good that's quite reasonable. Yeah. We'll have to see if he gets the right out.
It's over 2 seasons as well. They've got to be paid over 2 years.
Yeah, like 2 instalments.
So it's 16.5 million because it's 32.2 million or something. It works out
15 million quid or something.
Yeah. So again, it's little risk. You can't buy a Brazilian international for £15 million. It just doesn't happen, does it? So
I think he's good enough.
I'm building this up because that's what I like to do. A glass half full man, and hopefully he'll do enough for us to sit down and have that conversation.
Worst case is he's just a body who plays for a little bit, isn't he? 100%. And then we'll see how we go. Right then, Josh, got a horrible feeling Everton are going to be kicking lumps out of us today. I hate this fixture for that reason. With his £5 super chats, I agree. And Jürgen said as much, didn't he? Like, you've got to be able to play football. Right then, the Liverpool 11 is out, and it's an interesting one. I can tell you that. Yeah, it really is. Costa Tsimikas. Right, Steve, can you read that one out for us while I make my way over to the board?
Certainly. So, in goal, no surprises, Alisson in goal. The back four is interesting. We've got Trent right back. Gomez keeps his position alongside Van Dijk. And Tsimikas comes in for Robbo at left back. Into the midfield, we've got Fabinho, Elliott and Carvalho. I have to say I loved that. Talk about front foot football, that's amazing. That's really ballsy for me, that is. I really I'm here for that, love that. And up front, Diaz, Salah and Darwin Núñez returns from his 3-match substitution. From what I can see on there, Steve, sure you agree, we're going for this, mate.
It looks like it, man. Yeah, let me just confirm the bench then. We've got Adrian. Nope, we haven't got 2 goalies on the bench anymore. Brilliant. Yay, things are getting better. We've got Adrian there. We've got, let's see, I've got Milner on my bench. Yes, I have. Have I got Bobby? Yes, I have. Have I got Jota? Brilliant news to have him back. Andy Robbo is on my bench as well. No Curtis Jones, which is interesting considering he is back fit and available. He drops out with Stefan Bajcetic coming in. Interesting. Hopefully Curtis hasn't had any setbacks or anything like that. We've got Nat Phillips, and then the main man, he's on the bench.
Arthur,
yeah, there we go then.
That kills me, that thing you just put up there, mate.
The Liverpool 11 to face Everton then, and now some big calls by Jurgen Klopp. We'll go back and discuss them very later. If you're in the live chat now, or you're one of our Redmen Plus Club legends, get your thoughts in the team. We'll read some of those out in a moment. But yes, Ali's in goal. It's Kostas Tsimikas at left back. Andy Robbo will be furious. But Kostas has played well. Robbo's been up and down. I don't hate it. We've got Van Dijk, we've got Gomez, we've got Trent. Fabinho has got he's on babysitting duties. He's Fab. He feels like me yesterday when I was babysitting my little nephew as well as me, my own kids. Fab babysitting Carvalho and Harvey Elliott. That's a liquid midfield there. Luis Diaz and Mo Salah, no surprises. Darwin Núñez straight back into the team. Again, I was all for that. I think the team I wanted. I had Robbo left back, but I like the midfield and like the attack. I think there's a lot of space. I think Núñez makes sense with that midfield, and I'll speak more about that with you in a minute, Steve, is that if they're going to be there, you don't need Bobby Firmino dropping in there to make another creative presence. So I understand the logic. There's Adrian. We've got Matip, Phillips, Bobby, Jota, Bajcetic, Milner, Robbo, and the new boy is on the bench as well, Arthur Melo. So yes, Steve, first thoughts, mate, what are you thinking about that team?
That's one of the most attacking formations I've seen Jurgen Klopp ever do. Certainly for a derby, that's 5 front men is absolutely awesome. Really looking forward to seeing how Fabinho marshals the 2 young lads in front of him. Will be on the creative side of it, and you're absolutely 100% right. We don't need Bobby dropping into midfield when we've got those 2 guys there. They'll do that. So let's see the ball move quickly into players and shifted quickly. Those 2 young lads look forward when they get the ball, and I love that. That is a really exciting team. I'm buzzing with that.
It really is. Let me have a little look at the guys in the chat then. Anyone know what number Matt Arthur's got?
29.
29. He's replaced the legends of such like Fabio Borini and Dominic Solanke. He thought, you know what, whose number I want there. So yeah, thanks for the super chat. The Gareth, Dom Solanke is. We've finally replaced Dom Solanke. He's the Dom Solanke replacement that we were all screaming for. Let's have a look.
Shout out to Brandon who says, I don't think you should change Arthur's player board. I agree. That's absolutely legendary.
We'll see how that one goes. We'll see how that one pans out in the next few weeks. Let's have a little look then. So going to the Club Legend Discord. Hello to all the legends. Adam basically says, oh my word. We've got Josh Hoare says, come on, let's go. We've got Red Viking, love it. Elliot and Cav come on, the Redmen. Jeff, we've suddenly got options now, which is fantastic. Dobby home, too much magic in that team, let's go. And then finally, Scott, hello Scott. What I would do to see the Reds wipe the floor with them, we're all very much in the same boat there. Right then, I will bring you very shortly the Everton lineup. I'm just going to bring it up on screen now. Give me a second. There we go. They too are playing a few new players. Well, at least one. So Everton are going to a back 4 for this one. They have been playing a back 4 recently. They've had centre-back injuries of their own. But Pickford in goal, Patterson, Tarkowski, Cody and Mikalenko. We've got Onana, Davies and Iwobi, with Gordon and Gray flanking new signing Neil Maupay. Their bench, just to cover it. Begovic, Keane, Allen, McNeil, Coleman, Idrissa Gana Gueye back on the bench for them. Vinagre, again another loan signing this summer. Rondon and Mills. That's Danny Mills' lad, isn't it? I think Mills.
I think so. I think it is. Yeah.
So they're putting Neil Maupay in for his debut. It was the most Everton thing of all time. He wasn't allowed to play against Leeds because it was a bank holiday the day before, and they weren't allowed to register him. But they've got him sorted. So that is the Everton lineup. Your thoughts on that, Steve?
What we expected. They don't have the depth of squad that we have. To be fair. That will very quickly become a 4-4-2 when it needs to, and become a 4-3-3 on the 4-5-1
a lot. I think as well.
Yeah. Certainly be wide and expansive. That's what they will look to do. That's what everybody looks to do when they play Liverpool. And Everton will be no different. Interesting in the middle of the park what happens there, because Alex Iwobi's playing centre midfielder.
He's been good. He's been the better one.
He hasn't come up against these lads yet, has he? Harvey Elliott's asking seasoned quality international footballers loads of questions at the moment. So
going back to the comments of Josh before, now it's even more prevalent now. They're going to boot the shit out of Elliott and Carvalho.
Do you know what
the referee has really got to protect them here, because Davies, Iwobi, and they're going to... Why wouldn't you? Two little lads, two 20-year-old and 19-year-old. If it was Liverpool, we'd be saying, give him a smashing, like a little bit, test your resolve. They're going to kick them off the park if they can.
How many times have we seen the tweet, get into these straight from the off? That's exactly Everton's team talk for today, isn't it? Yep. Do you know what, Steve, that team reminds me in terms of its formation and the attacking intent? That's a Manchester City-like formation with 5 players who are of attacking mind. I love that. I can't wait for this.
Joe Everton, the Discord as well, saying, Steve, you should have gone with your gut, Carvalho and Nunes both in. No, I said that's what I wanted to happen, Joe. I didn't think Jürgen was going to go that attacking. Jürgen's actually quite risk-averse. If there's a risky option and a more safe option, he tends to take the safe one, which is why, again, I'm very surprised James Milner wasn't playing. But I'm delighted with it. I think it's a very, very attacking move. You are right to say that, Steve. I think it's one of the most attacking midfields Jürgen's ever really picked. Fab's got some work to do.
Yeah. Some babysitting to do like you yesterday, as you said. Yeah. That's interesting, because I when I watch Fab, I tend to do a bit of player cam myself. He's not particularly vocal.
No.
So it'd be really interesting. Maybe we don't care about whether he's vocal. Maybe we're just going to play total front foot football. You know, if you're Everton and that team sheet comes out today, you're going to think, shit.
It's an attacking 5, and it's essentially it's actually an attacking 7, because we know where Trent's going to be and we know where Costas is going to be, and it's up to Virgil, Gomez and Fab to keep the back door shut. To be fair to Elliott, I think defensively he's been okay this year. He's done his job. He isn't physical, we know that, but he gets himself in the right positions. He nooses and he does press and harry well. But yeah, Fab's got some work too. I can't say too much about Fabio Carvalho defensively, because every time he's come on, it's Liverpool been pushing for the goal. He comes on. It's all been attack. We haven't really had to see him in any defensive roles really. But that left hand side's an important one in terms of defending. He's got responsibilities. It isn't just a case of go and free yourself forwards and do what you want. He's got work to do over there.
Yeah, he has got work to do. What we've seen with Elliott is when he loses the ball, he works really hard to get it back. He'll often get a foot in, steer it back towards the back 4. We're finding a lot about Carvalho's defensive attributes today. What's really cool is those two guys, Elliott and Carvalho, have clearly got like a bit of a romance going on. They've known each other for years. They're in the same side together against Everton. I think that will inspire each other to go out there today and perform.
Yeah, I'd say they've both been... If Jürgen's picking the 11 on form, then they both deserve to play, to be honest with you. I've got no issue with it at all. Right then, another super chat from Kieran Joy. Thanks very much, Kieran, 449. Nunes is either getting sent off or hitting a sweet chin music on Pickford. To be fair, Key, if he hits a sweet chin music on Pickford, he will get sent off. So I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he just scores past them. That's the key here. Let's talk about the big fella up front then, Steve, because I think the balance of the side dictated. If he's the side that he's got with Elliott and Carvalho, it had to be Nunes. It can't be Bobby Firmino with that one, because what's the point? They're going to be operating in the same areas. Do you think the Simicast thing is related to Nunes? Because I actually think Simicast is a better crosser of the ball than Darwin Nunes is as well. I mean, Tarkowski and Conor Cody are no mugs in the air, but what we have seen from Nunes at times is he's raw, he's quite unconventional, and obviously he has got a bit of attitude on him as well. We saw that from the red card, and we saw the celebrations the other day. But he doesn't half find himself in good goal scoring opportunities a lot. He doesn't always convert it, and we've seen that as well. But it feels like he is going to get chances. Maybe that's what the Simicast Nunes balance makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree. The big plus for Simicast is Andy Robbo's right foot's just for standing on, basically, isn't it? He's very much a left-footed player. Simicast can come back inside and go with the right foot, so he's got 2 different angles to put the ball into the box. This is really interesting because Nunes is really, really good in the air, and I know Conor Cody's decent in the air, as is Tarkowski, but this is a totally different setup. If we'd played Bobby, Nunes and Cody and Tarkowski almost get the afternoon off because all the danger's out wide.
Yeah.
So this is a different dynamic for us to play with. This is now saying to them, right, do you know what? Doesn't matter about the red card. We've spoken to this lad. This won't happen again. Yeah. And if it's refereed well, that could play into our hands, because Tarkowski's already said he's going to try and rattle him. He's already said that. Yeah, of course. We'd be saying the same if he was playing for the other team. But this, I just love this. I am absolutely can't
It's like
wait for this game.
the second Anthony Gordon dives, which he will do because that's what he does, Liverpool should be all over that ref. Because you just know, refs go into things with preconceived ideas. They now know, every ref knows, Darwin Núñez headbutt to the fella, you know, keep an eye on him. They also know Anthony Gordon's had a couple of yellow cards for diving. Yeah. That you've got to put pressure. You do have to pressure the referee. It's not nice to say it, but it's the same thing. I would expect as soon as he goes down, whether it's Van Dijk, obviously Virgil will be captain today, someone's got to be in the ref's ear going, yellow card, that isn't it? You know, like, it's a bit of gamesmanship. Another super chat from Josh Thompson, 449. Thank you very much indeed, Josh. Morning, lads. Can't wait for the match. What a lineup. Cheers for all the great work and content up the Reds. Thank you very much, Josh, for the super chat and for the kind words. Well, very, very much appreciated. Right, then we're going to start wrapping up, I think, Steve. We'll be back just to let you guys know for the live watch along. 100% biased Liverpool Football Club commentary. We'll go live. Yeah, about 15 minutes before kick-off. So what's that, 12:15 UK time? Work it out yourselves wherever you are in the world. What I do know, it's hell early in some places, and it's very, very late in other places. We'll find out where you're all watching from and listening and all that kind of stuff on the next show. So yeah, go away, go and get yourselves your brekkie, your lunch, your cup of teas, whatever you need to do. Come back to us at 12:15 for the Merseyside derby. Live watch along, like I say, put it on the telly, press mute, don't have to listen to their commentary, listen to me and Steve. What more do you need? Right? Thanks very much. The first ever Team News Reacts gone well. Let's hope for a very, very good watch along as well. Yeah, come back to us in half an hour time. We'll catch you all then, guys. See you in a bit.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue the conversation, then head over to Redmen Plus. Join as a club legend and get access to our Discord chat. It's got us in and it's got loads of amazing like-minded Reds. There's a no knob policy in there, so where you won't have that on social media, you will have it over on the Redmen Plus Discord. It's full of sound people. Come and join us.